Hello everyone. Most of us have the confusion when to use that and when to use which. So let's go into the video and get a confusion clarified. Well, that and which. What's the difference? That indicates a specific object or an item or a person or a condition, whereas which is used to add information to objects, items, person, or you can even call as people, as well as situations. So before we proceed, let me tell you what is a clause. A clause will contain a subject and a verb. So you can call it as a subject and predicate. Now let's look at this sentence. Nikhil drinks cold coffee. Here, Nikhil is the subject, drinks is the verb, drinks cold coffee is the predicate. So, a part of the sentence which has a subject and a predicate and gives a complete meaning is a clause. Now let's look into that and which difference further. Now, if your sentence has a clause but does not need it to give a complete meaning, then you can use which. At the same time, if the sentence needs a clause to give a complete meaning, then you can use that. Let me repeat. In your sentence, if you do not need that clause, meaning if you're going to remove that clause and yet if the sentence gives a complete meaning, you can use which. In a sentence, if you're going to remove the clause, then it will not give a complete meaning. In that case, you need to use that. Let's look into an example sentence. I need a book which will tell me all about cooking. Let's recap what I said earlier. I told you if you're going to use the word which in a sentence, you have to use it only when you need to give some extra information. So in this context, this is an incorrect usage. So what is the correct word that I should substitute here? It should be, I need a book that will tell me all about cooking. So I have to introduce the word that. Now, when I use the word that, I need to be very cautious that I should not use a comma. So then the usage is correct. One more note which I want all of you to remember. When the clause is at the end of a sentence, remember only one comma is used before which, in case you're going to use the word which. Fine? Finally, don't forget that and which can be used together. In case, if removing the clause changes the meaning of a sentence, then you need to use that. If removing the clause does not change the meaning of the sentence, or if the clause describes something more about the subject, then you need to use which. Further, let's see a recap. The word that. It explains clearly what noun you're talking about and it is used in restrictive clauses. Example, the dog that is barking is my neighbor's pet. The word which is used to add information and it is used in a non-restrictive clause. In case you need to know what is a restrictive clause and a non-restrictive clause, I would like you to look into the previous video in my channel where I've explained what is a restrictive clause and what is a non-restrictive clause. Now, which, the word which is used to add information. Example, my dog, which is brown in color, runs very fast. So what is the extra information given here? They've already mentioned my dog. The extra information here is the color of the dog. So when you add information, you use which. When you need to explain about the noun clearly, you use that. Hope you've understood. Thanks for watching.